Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2019. This is Stage Racer, episode number 32. Be sure to drop a like below, and we go on to stage number 3 of the Tour of Germany, aka Deutschland Tour. We enter this one in 5th place, and here on this stage, we've got a small chance. Be better if we have the Classics rider for this one. Punchier, but we certainly have enough ability to stay in the group. Just not sure if we can pull away from the group. But with 3 quick climbs in succession there at the end, that's where we'll pick up with this one. So kind of the last flat section. 32k left to go. We're coming up on the climb. I've already seen the first 2 climbs once. You can see the pattern here. The first climb's bigger, but it's interrupted. The second one, very steep but short. And then that third one, small hill. Well, if you look to the left side of the screen, the first one, perfectly matched there. The second one, you get to the peak, and right as you get to the top, you turn and go off and loop back around, and we're coming right back to it now. So we're back on to the same course that we were. So I've seen the first 2 climbs, I haven't seen the last one, and I've been trying to look for the best spot, best time to go. And as we're heading up the climb now, I'd love to go now, but it's too far out. We're still 27k away. The second climb is too short, but it's also an ideal time to be away, because I think the third climb is not steep enough, is not long enough to really gain proper separation. So here's my thought. In between this first climb and second climb, there's a good little descent there that you can recover red bar. I want to be away before that, but not now as we're going over the climb. So we're still going to get our way to the top here in just a little bit. And shortly before we go downhill, I want to attack and be off the front. Recover the red bar on the descent, so I'm already away when I start the second climb. So weird time to go, but today, I actually do have a chance at taking this stage. Team thinks I should win it hands down. I never know about them and their decision making on that, but I do have a +5 today. +5. Okay, this is the top, yes. Not quite where I want to attack just yet. I don't want to have to attack for too long before we start that descent. So maybe kind of the second hump. Which is now. So here we go. There's still actually a little break here. 12 seconds of separation coming up on that descent right now. Okay, so we ease off. I was hoping to bridge the gap, and actually the peloton hanging close for now. They're just 12 seconds behind. But on this descent, you can see we're getting that recovery that I was looking for. I picked up this beautiful +5 to my race day condition that nobody else can claim. And that's what's going to really give me a chance on this one. So we'll go about 92 here. Ooh, peloton's caught me, huh? I think I need to wait for the final climb. It's too close. We're down to 24 in the peloton, including those that were in the break. But this is no longer the time to get away. Wow, that pace is just gone, just like that. Well, there's going to be a lot of fatigue in that chasing group. And we're going to have to wait now for that final climb. Try to give it a go there. I'm going to use my gel here in just a moment. There we go. 12k. Lastra. I'm going to follow you, and you need to use whatever you have left here. Pick this pace up, because already it's back to 40 riders. We were smaller than that quite a while ago. The riders are entering the last 10 kilometers of the stage. Okay, Lastra used up his energy, 9k, but I'm in that spot where I want to be. And now we attack again. Off front, immediate separation, but the chase is on. Group of 5. And again, pulling the separation. There's the top. Not quite enough to continue over the top. There's just one give and chase, 15 seconds, 13 seconds behind. 9 seconds behind. The actual peak now, so it's going to be downhill from here. 4K. Push on the downhill. I've got a 75 downhill rating today. Still 9 seconds. 3K. He's up just a little bit here. I want to keep a little energy for the finish. 1K to go. Okay, sprint. Oh, no energy. Mohoric is going to get it. I wanted to save that little energy. Didn't work. Mohoric is going to take the victory. We're going to take second. Or will it be third? Robert Power comes charging across the line. But we beat him. So second on stage, Timo Rusin, Lambrecht, Frele, Van Barl, Fernandez, and Simon Clark. Definite time gaps. That's going to move us up the order from 5th. I just don't know if that's going to move me into the lead. I don't know where Mohoric was. I might be in 2nd overall after this stage. It's a real tough one to get a victory on when you're not a punchy rider by trade. You know, I've got decent punch, but I'm clearly a stage racer first and foremost. And that mountain rating didn't mean much today at all. Almost pulled it off. But I needed that little bit of energy left so that we actually could have sprinted in the final K, which for me isn't much of a sprint. But just straight riding home versus my sprint, there's still a big difference between those two. And I would have held them off if I had anything left, but you saw there we ran out with about 1.1k to go. Just hit empty. If I had already been away prior, right? If the first attack would have been successful, it would have worked. And like I said, that last one, too short of a climb and not steep enough to get sufficient separation for a climber and not a punchy climber like myself. And it turned out to be exactly as I predicted. Mohoric just out-sprinted me to the end. Robert Power nearly did. You can see there's half of us were just bringing it home, while a few were left sprinting. So Mohoric takes it by 8 seconds. Robert Power and I get same time, then 24 on back. And that puts me 1 second behind Robert Power. So Mohoric in the race lead. Robert Power is 2nd. I am 3rd. Simon Clark is 4th. 1 stage to go. We'll see what the profile is like. And of course, the team is super ticked off that I took 2nd place. And this is going to put us into September. With 65 points, we're now close to leveling up. 66 away now. See what stage 4 is like. I need to recall what the profile is. And that's not looking too too good for us as it's fairly flat, so chances are I'll hang on to third. However, I just need 1 second to move up a spot, and with some sprint points right before the end, I could probably pull that off. So we'll join the stage late and we'll see what we can do about getting up to second place anyway. With less than 70k to go here on the final stage, I cannot rely on my own team for this one, so I'm going to need some help. Even though I do have leader status, there's nothing assumed for this stage by the team, and therefore, once again, I lack any sort of proper support in our goals for this one. So I have a single team member providing protection, and everybody else is Barrador style, where they can all ride for themselves and try to get something out of this stage. So as we get a little bit closer here, 35k to go, the 4 riders off the front, well, they still haven't been caught. Now, we still have some time, and the gap's getting small, just over a minute, and they've already started attacking themselves, so they'll almost certainly get caught here, and it will be a sprint finish, but they just pulled 30 seconds back out in that brief attack, and there's not a lot of worry from the field, so still a little nervous on whether we'll get these guys back or not. Now the profile here actually isn't full-on flat sprint stage style. There are a few climbs here. The sprint point is a little circuit. We're going to hit it a couple times. It looks like we kind of go up the opposite side of the hill and then turn and go straight down, and then that puts us on that circuit. So that first little hill's coming up in a little bit, and that first little sprint point's coming up in a little bit, and we're still not there. So ouch. How are we going to get this done without catching these guys? And my one teammate, Debok, is toast now, so I don't have team support in chasing these guys down. First and foremost, I still need to finish in the group to at least preserve third place. Second place should be so easy with this setup, and there is the group. As we're coming up on it, maybe, just maybe, we'll get close enough that I could attack them and get over the top. I don't need first across the line. All I need is first, second, or third to move ahead. If I get third, though, I'll be on the same time, so I'll need to make sure I finish ahead of... let's see, it's not Mahorich. Who's the other rider? Who am I chasing? Robert Power. Okay, so 2k to that finish, and that group is still... Where are they? They're too far ahead for this time, I think. 1.7. Yeah, they're 800 meters ahead right now. And there they go. Through the sprint point. So that's one occasion gone because there's 4 riders right there. They've already crossed the line. See the points classification. Power with 36. Looks like he picked up some bonus time in there, and that's what's got him ahead right now. A little bit of a punchy climb here, but it's not enough to get any pure, proper separation, and that's why. But we'll take a look here. It's 9%, 9.8. It's a little bit longer than I thought. We might be able to go for the win on the break and give it a shot next time. It's not like we'd get dropped from the group. But there's our 3 riders reeled in, so we've got every opportunity to go claim some points on that next one. So 13.8k overall. Do we keep on riding straight for the climb? That's an interesting prospect and dangerous. 2.4k. I'm going to start riding to the front. Under 2k. Okay, I'm out front. Not wasting energy right now, though. Okay, 1K. Let's sprint. Okay, we've done it. Oof, just in time. 3-man break. I've got a 3-man break here. I'm going to try to recover a little bit. We're 16 seconds ahead. Oh, they got us back. Still a chance here. I'm going to start moving forward again. I don't want to use too much energy. I don't want to risk the overall because I now, with that 3-second bonus, have enough to move up to second overall. So we'll try a little we're already to the top. And Mohoric is going with me.
To the finish line.
Okay, we sit on. Now we can accelerate a little bit again. 3K to go. 2K to go. 2.5. It's going to flatten out right here at the end. 1.5. I'm in the right spot, but I'm not a sprinter.
There we go. The sprint is on. The riders are setting themselves up.
Just hopefully those Toynes, Lawless, Mohoric is close. Hopefully he doesn't take anything. Venturini takes the win. Lawless, Toynes, Mohoric just misses out on bonus time. Robert Power finishes ahead of me, 7th, but I picked up 3 seconds, so that's enough in the group. So I will move up to second overall. Good. Yeah, I knew it was way too short of a climb. There's a reason why it was considered a flat stage. But I do get the 3 seconds and move up a spot. Still not a win in the general classification, but second is better than third. I will take it. So that'll be Mohoric for the overall race win. Myself for second. Robert Power slips to third. Big group finish, wide open road there. Slight uphill. But there you go. With those 3 seconds, we take second place. I do miss out on the points competition. Venturini ends up claiming that one. I just miss out on the mountain climbers as well. I do get the under 25s over Robert Power. So second, fourth, second, and first. So we're 63 points. I'm now 3 shy of leveling up. Dang. So close. 14% there also puts me 3 percentage points shy of regaining trust with my boss. It's been a good season, but it's also been a difficult season. I've done well. I've had good results. I've done so much more than I did in the first season. But then, of course, I've had the relentless nature of the team boss who is on me and wants me to win every stage that's not a sprint. Like literally every stage for months now. Months and months. They've said, you're going to win this stage. You're going to win this stage. You're going to win this stage. Over and over again. And that is so hard to keep up with when you're... I've been the favorite only a couple times in all of that. I've only been on even the list of favorites a handful of times. I'm usually not even on the top 10 favorites, and they're like, go win the stage. And then I take second, or third, or fifth, and then they're like, boo. So I know you've heard it from me, that frustration piece, as we're going to be heading to Canada next. First Quebec and then Montreal, a couple World Tour races, but just a bit of frustration on my end of expectations that just can't be kept. And then when you do keep them, you can't do better than the expectation. The expectation is first. So you do first, and they're content. And they're just like, here's a single pat on the back. Good job, kid. And you get a few points. And then anything less than that, like what we just did with, second place on stage 3 there, and they're just like, you suck. Really? I mean, I just managed to pull off second place in a race that had no mountains. Okay. I mean, I don't need the team boss to coddle me or anything, but a little bit of realism would be welcomed. Well, anyway, I know I've gone on about that on more than one occasion, so I'm sorry. I apologize if that does seem a bit rough. So as we head through the Grand Prix Cyclista de Quebec, 203 kilometers on a single circuit, uphill, uphill, uphill. So it actually looks like potentially like it's the same circuit that's used for the U.S. National Championships. If it is, then I'll know exactly when and where to go on this one. But we'll see if that's the case. Karsten Beck, Lastra is here with Strepo, Rodriguez, Tarbe. So there are some good climbers around me who could offer me support if I do have that team leader status. But of course, what seems to always be the case with my team, the majority of them will be given free rein to do what they want, and I'll have maybe one team member to support me. Vanderpool is here, and the favorite, Woods, Formulo, Youngles, Mollema, Lambrecht. I'm not on the list. But I wouldn't be surprised if we have a certain objective. A lot of negative race day conditions within the team as well, so this could be a challenging one. Fitness at 98. Race day condition expected at a +2.
Hello and welcome. It's an undulating route, so it will be a tactical race.
Yep, the left-hander. Yes, it is. Leader outsider finish in the top 10. Not a favorite, but at least it wasn't go for the win. I think I can pull off a finish in the top 10 in this race. Looking at that list of riders, I wasn't far off it. But it's always a step above where I am versus reality. And this very much is that same course used for the U.S. National Championship, so I've done this many times. I'm prepared for what's coming. A couple different places to go on this one, being that there's a much tougher competition compared to the US one. I wouldn't want to go too early. I would probably go a bit later on than what is normal, but there's not serious climbing opportunities, and I do not have a +5. I don't have resistance in the 80s, but it is a 76. The hill rating is an 80, so I could produce a decent amount of pace and maintain it for a while. So we'll give it a shot. In the meantime, I actually have a decent amount of team support, 4 riders, not 1, like I was expecting. So better than expected expectations and support as I crash all alone.
Fall in the pack. Apparently, the leader is on the ground.
And I'm still laying down until everybody gets past.
Falling behind. A team
We're going to get back on the bike though, so we are not out of this one yet. That's good. Come on. Let's make some contact here. Okay, back into the peloton. Get back up to our position. Wow, getting through the field pretty quickly here. Alright, 5 riders in the break. They've got a 4.5 minute lead. I'm glad this isn't the US race because usually that can blow up to 10 minutes in a hurry when there's only enough riders from a couple teams and those 2 teams just aren't interested in chasing. Same circuit, same climb over and over again. In all, we hit the climb. This is attempt number 5. And we have 11 more to go. Got my count correct there. So 16 laps in all. We're a third of the way through. As soon as we get to the top this time, we'll hit the halfway point. Gap on the 5 breakaway riders is down to 2.5. So they're not getting too far away, and that's 8 of 16 circuits complete. Right now, not enough pace. You can see yo-yoing starting just a little bit on the back end as the pace is starting to pick up. Nobody's actually fallen off the back yet, but I think we'll start to see the field thin out a little bit the next 1 or 2 times up and over. There we go. There's one off the back who is quickly getting distanced. A couple more falling off the back now. I expected more than a few. Yeah, there's 4 more going. At this point, I'm fresh and the rest of my team all looking pretty tired besides Beck. And now we're starting to see some splits. A lot of it's going to yo-yo, but we're going to start to see more and more of that group thinning out. 4 times left. 4 circuits remain. So we're 75% of the way there. And now we're down to 75 in the peloton. The 5 riders off the front still have 1.5 minutes. We've only pulled back 1 minute on them, so they accelerated as well, but still, that's a pretty sizable difference. Bad news for me, though, is the team support is just falling away quickly with now 3 laps left to go. 42 in the peloton. It's shrunk very quickly, but Beck, the only one left here, and he is already toast. He's on the back end of the group, and he's going to fall out here really soon, so... And the 5 riders on the front, still minute 25, so we've only pulled back about 10 seconds on them. It should be easy to get them back, but if we thin our group out too much, we're not actually going to catch them. If those 5 keep working together, and we don't have but a few riders actually giving the effort to chase, there's a chance for them that they could win today. 5 riders in that break, Zoidal, Rojas, Rosa, Martins, and De Decker. It's not a bad group. And of course all the favorites are still here in this group. No reason to expect any of them out. You can see there's only 1 rider now on the front. Jasper Stuyven, the only one pushing. Chatnik, Cordielson. Okay, there are a few. There's Vanderpool. Inkhorn. So there's still a few guys working. Peloton thinning out further, 26 now. And we only pulled back about 12 seconds, and there's still 2 circuits to go. That's actually what we're down to now. That's not a lot. That's very little for the amount of time we need to pull back on these 5 guys. And at this moment, they've got every opportunity to still win it. There's the first glimpse we've had of them. But again, we've only pulled back a few additional seconds here. So at a minute 10. Ooh, there you go. They're starting to attack each other. That's the best thing for us. If they would have continued to work, Vanderpool's attacking, Power's attacking. I need to attack also. Come on. I'm stuck behind Tratnik. Tratnik blocked me off. I couldn't get through. This is the best spot to attack right here, though. As you come around this corner, it's steep. And there's a group that is giving chase, but it's not much of a group. So we got 2 riders up front, 20 seconds. Looks like we're about to pull them back in. If I could bridge this little gap and join them, maybe, just maybe. Nope. Formolo stayed on my wheel, and they stayed on his wheel. So we lost a few riders. We're down to 20, 19 now. But look at the time gap. It's still a minute and 5. So the little attack in the front group was covered down, and we only pulled back 5 seconds. And next time up is the finish. And you can see there's not much of an attack right now. Bob Youngle's at the front going very slow. If I attack, they're probably going to chase. But we're going to hit the steeper downhill in just a moment. I'm going to come over the top and try to sprint off just for a moment. If they let me go, then turning the corners. The switchbacks are too close together. Okay, 5 riders off the front. And we are chasing them down, but it's time to get on board. There we go, sit up, 10 riders chasing.
5 kilometers remaining.
5.7 to go. And no chase, no chase. They're back out to a minute 5, just like that. I need to hit the final climb here just a moment. I need to attack early if I have any chance of catching those guys. 57 seconds, they're slow now.
And off he goes. He's giving it one last
I think
go.
that's too early. It's a little too early with this group. I need a top 10. Well, we're down to 10. Oh, we've caught him. One of them. No, that's somebody else. We're lapping somebody there. 1.3K. I still have some energy, but it's very little. But I am in 10th right now. And there's... Oh, no. Here comes a bunch of riders behind. Vanderpool's going to take the win, but I'm going to miss top 10 slightly because of the break. I'd be top 10 if it wasn't for the break. Power takes second, Formolo third, Youngles, Martins, Rosa, Zoidel, Mohoric, all those breakaway riders, and I get 14th. Subtract 5, all 5 are in front of me. Subtract 5, and I take 5th in this 9th in this race. But we get 14th because the breakaway survives until the final few meters, and the strongest are able to overtake them. The strongest... What? 5? Yeah, the strongest 5 overtake them. And then you've got Rosa, Zoidel, Kosnefroy, De Decker, and was it Rojas? That was the 5 right there. Spread out from 6th to 12th. So they do get caught on the line. And it was the group that I was with, but I wasn't strong enough to be with them. Why? Because I'm not a punchy guy. I'm a stage racer with a resistance of today is 76. Good. Not quite good enough. Not compared to these best World Tour guys. Especially the best punchy guys. I mean, I just beat one of the best climbers in the world. Primoz Roglic took 17th. Finished well behind me. Didn't get the attack. There's Mads Peterson, Cord Nielsen, Lampard. That's a strong group. That's my group. I got to the other group just couldn't quite hang with them to the finish line. So close yet so far. And because of the break staying away, I missed my target. And guess who's gonna be mad? Just before the line. I mean, that's 15 meters to go, and they catch him. It's at least worth 6 points, though, and that's enough to level up. So, hey, there's something. Skill point and improvement of attributes, good. Alright, so we have climber potential with hills, time trial, prologue. That's a good boost right there. I like the sprint point. I love 3 acceleration points, a couple downhill points, 2 resistance points. That's my favorite. So the climber one's looking pretty good. The time trial, you get 1 more point on the flat, but at the cost of 1 downhill and 2 acceleration points. So not a fan of that. Sprinter, you get 3 points for sprint, 4 for acceleration. I know there's at least 1 less time trial point in there. 1 less downhill point, but that's not a bad thing. The puncher gets a flat point, 2 hills points. Again, a little bit less on the time trial. But strengthen the sprint as well. That could be a good thing. Makes it a little more well-rounded. Not worried about the classics. Or the Barrador. Stage race 1. You get the hill point. So that's good. 4 time trial points. What? Prologue, not as good, but it's always less time anyway. A lot less in the sprint, though. An extra point for downhill. Only 1 resistance point. Really? Come on. Where was the time trial? Time trial one comes with flat hills, 4 points, 2 points, but less sprint. So we're kind of choosing right now. The stage racer I'm not a fan of because the resistance wasn't there. I want 2 points of resistance. That's bottom line. So, climber's an option. Less into the time trial there. A little more to the sprint. The time trial one, though, will definitely push me a bit further in that department. And I get a point on the flat, which is always good, because that's really weak. And without team support, something like the crosswinds would just devastate me, especially if I'm alone. I like the sprinter option. But don't think it's as important. I think we need to go for the time trial option because that's a huge boost and it's not something I've really invested in much at all, and just like that we'll have 79. And at the same time, I'm still getting a point for hills. I'm still getting a little bit in acceleration. And most importantly of all, 2 points in resistance. Alright, there's our evolution. And we go skill point with what? Haven't used it. Don't think I'll ever use it at this rate. I am moving up. Maybe it's time. I've used stealth on this other classics rider and never been able to use it effectively. Late in the stage, they take it away from you, and that's when you want to use it. So what's the point? The technique I haven't... That's actually not a bad thing, is it? There's times where that's really important, especially on a climb. So let's go ahead and take technique. There you go. And I think after this, we're going to start moving into discovery. Especially as we're going to be a World Tour rider. We've got just over a month left, so I would imagine our next level is not going to happen until start of next season. Alright, well, we still have pulled some results. Now, in terms of how things are going, now that we're mid-September, oh gosh, now I need to remember. Where am I going to be for next season? I'm overlapping my series here, and I don't know where I'm going to be. Suppose there's more than one way to check it, isn't there? Up to a national reputation now. That's not showing next year. But that is. Okay, CCC. Sorry, I've got too many series that every once in a while I'm going, wait, which one are we? Alright, so CCC. Let's head back over here for a second, and we'll see where CCC stands for next season. Only 16th, and that's actually right on the edge. That's pushing it at this point in time. So, curious to see kind of what's left. Let's just delete that. Search. I'm one of the top riders out there now that was available for this season. But at the moment, CCC, just 18 riders signed up for next year. And you can see actually the clear improvement. We're losing a point or two in cobble, but the GC riding goes way up. It should be obvious why it's doing that. I hope that goes without saying. But in terms of departures, you've got Zoidel, Hoydunk, there's a few guys out, but not major losses. Inkhorn's coming in, Rondags, Osorio, and Guadalupe. I don't know Guadalupe, but I do know Osorio, and I'm happy to have his support. Van Avermaet, Paddy Bevan, DeMarquis. Not the best support here within this team, though. No, not really. So, definitely lacking some strength in this department. And so at this point, I'm looking at a tough season next year, again, with not a ton of support. But you can already see, at least at the moment, and looking down that list, I'm the team leader for next year. Van Avermaet, of course, for the classics, but for the stage races, that's going to be on me. So, in that sense, I should get that leader role again and again. And even if it's leader outsider, I should still get a decent amount of support. So, excited by that prospect. And with that time trial rating definitely up, we're more well-rounded now. And should, with the right races and the right combination of riders, be competitive. Just not necessarily winning yet. Give it a couple seasons, we'll get there. That's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. And remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my road to the record. Bye for now.